Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This will be part 2 on the 2007 Cummins or Dodge Ram truck with a Cummins engine and computer. It's a 5.9 liters diesel, and this is the CM-A49B computer run from Texas. This is your computer. I have tried to contact them several times and emails and texts and everything, and I cannot really hold much. So I took a managing decision and I repaired the module because I mean it is here for that. So I was able to reproduce the concerns. I have a part 1 when I was testing the computer. We definitely have a problem on a shorted injector 6. 5 and 4 they were also bad, so all injector drivers are replaced, the pre-driver, capacitors and diodes, and all the parts of the circuit, because actually it took a very big hit in the injector. So I would recommend Ron to check that injector or the harness because something got shorted really bad in there. And I was almost to the point of no repair. But luckily, I was able to remove it because it was almost soldered to the board. And I repaired everything. So everything is now working. So I'm going to put the link of the part 1 on the description of this video. And I'm going also to put in the title of this video my website. So if you need any computers for repairs or so, you can contact me there. I copy and paste that over to Google or whatever browser you use, and you got my phone number, my email, everything. And as soon as you open the website, you got all the information you need from me in there. All right. Same thing as the shipping address and some clickable boxes that I put in there for like click here to fill this form or click here to contact us. That will open the email so you can send me an email because I like to keep everything on writing. It's the best way. If you contact me in email, I will respond faster. Obvious reasons, I'm always working, and it's the best way to approach. All right, so let's get to the test. One thing that you will see on the first video is when I was connecting his computer, which right now you can see is still halfway open, or open, is as soon as I power up, because I'm using this simulator and also the Mark 50, which is there. But in order for you guys to see better, I have connected the 6 injectors in here, the ground side control, and then you will see the lights flickering in here right where I'm hovering my hand. So the third row of LEDs we see here are those for the injectors. But before, when the computer was here first, as soon as I turned this on, number 6 and sometimes 5 was stuck on completely halfway through because it was showing like a voltage of like a 10 volts. And I'm going to put the oscilloscope, which is a graphing tool that can take the voltage and show us in the screen how that looks. So this is what I'm talking about. I'm sorry, not that. This one. So right now we have the blue channel, the A channel, the B channel is the red line, and the green channel is the C line. So the blue and the red are connected to the injectors negative, and the green is connected to the power feed for the bank 2, which is the one he had problems, even though we're going to check all, because I'm going to move that wire over to the other power feed for the other bank of injectors, and we will see all operational. Due to the year of this car, which is now a Combus, I cannot run the computer for too long because it starts shutting down injectors. So for obvious reason, no fuel road pressure. There is a lot of components that take place on this car for run, because if the computer doesn't see the correct fuel road pressure or cam and crankshaft sensor signals sync, it will start shutting down injectors to protect it so it doesn't damage the engine, right? So I had to play with that, and please bear with me because you will see that. But in the beginning, on the first video, you will see where that was shorted immediately. So that was the way that I reproduce the concern. And then you will see, because I keep the same order on the oscilloscope, where the blue channel was always in 12 volts because that computer is not powered on. So the driver, even though this simulator is providing the power for the injectors going through and waiting for the ground, because let's say, this has like a relay or a load that will simulate the injectors. And now, since there is no activation, we can read 12 volts, which is the correct way. In the B channel before, which was connected to injector 6, it was down to like 10 volts. So it was partially shorted, and it was keeping the injector on all the time or not operational, because when it was running really short. It spiked like a 215 microseconds, which is not enough to actually pull an injector down. So the drivers were definitely damaged. and some other components, obviously internal in the computer, and that's what I show there. Now, the reason of this video is to show the now running computer and fully operational for Ron, and for all of you that are watching this video. All right, so what I'm going to do is now, let me turn this off, and let's connect to the computer. So now I have the SUS, which is a scanner that will be connecting to the computer, and then a meter, so we can see the sensor ground and the sensor voltage, which is for this computer 5 volts. All right, so let's power the computer up in here. All right, so let me, you can see now the 5 volts and everything is good in there. So let me connect to the computer. Okay, actually it's doing it automatically, which I was expecting to see that because this is a completely CAN bus computer. So it's really fast communication, and we will see the V number mostly for him. You can see the the green channel now being activated because that power is being commanded on, ready for the injectors to be powered up. And that is just normal for what I see here because I'm providing a test light to ground. If this will not be connected to a test light, it will not show that, but that's just so we can see what is happening in there. All right, so that is the VIN number, G706035. We're going to enter the engine. And all I want to put in here, all right, so I need this kind of just to see the data of the RPM, so we can take at least a look of that. So I'm just going to go into the engine part and the engine data. All work. I'm actually going to do a custom selection. But let me deselect all. I'm going to open this, and I'm just going to select the RPM pits so we can see that the RPM in the engine, in the cam, and on the crank, they should match. Let me put them in a graph. So right now, we should be reading 0 and all. All right, so I'm going to turn that signal on, and I'm going to make it go up to like a 90 RPMs, which just looks like it's like the sweet spot for the injectors to come on. I'm just pushing the knob, the button in here to try to get to that. All right, but let's run it here. You can see it in there. So right now we got a very uneven injection, but they're all working. Before, we didn't have that activation. So the scanner, or sorry, the oscilloscope is running, and we can see all that in there. I'm going to separate the signals a little bit so we can see more in the screen, especially since the red and the blue doesn't happen at the same time. But I'm going to move the one channel, the blue channel. Oh, sorry, yeah, I think it's the blue channel. Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to move it across all the injectors. And you can see that we have signal there. I'm going to injector number 2, and the injector 6 is going to stay all the time there. So number 2, number 3, just wait for the activation. We have it right there. Then number 4. Again, let's just wait for the activation. We have it right there. And then the last number, the 5th injector, which is now there. I'm going to stop the capture. Well, actually, let me raise the RPMs a little bit because it will start shutting down injectors. See, right there, it's now doing it. I'm in 100 RPMs. All right, I think it's probably in there. I'm going to try to capture a little more on time, and then stop it. Because, when the injectors fire, I'm going to turn this off and turn the RPM off. Right now, we don't need it because we're going to just do a data analysis so we can see the injection happening properly. So before, the injector was always firing like in a microseconds time. So let me remove the green channel so we can get to see a little better here. And I'm going to move this down because we don't need those measurements no more. Let me move this a little lower, because when one injector is firing, let's say, on the sequence, you will see like let's say right here, we can see that the blue channel up in the top went very short, but then the red channel went very wide. Well, that is because this is like a almost like a charge pump firing injectors. And so what we see is when this injector is firing, the other one, it might have a short activation, but it's not meant to be open. So all they're doing in here is collecting power to run the injector, because these are very thick injectors. And I showed that in the other video, but let me show you a picture of what that injector look. Let me get all that out of the way. All right, so this is Ron's folder. Yeah, this is the back of the injector. You can see it's very thick wires. It goes over to these injectors, and this is the injector body on that on each of those cylinders. So that's why. So these computers, to maximize and utilize the best the drivers and the circuits internally in the computer without making it a huge computer, they created this system. So they use an activation just to create voltage, because they got big capacitors, and they charge the capacitor and they use that energy for the next injector when it's going to fire. And we see that on the Pico right now taking place. So let me just get that in my screen so we can move that better or along more. Like in the next side, now you see when the blue channel now is firing, we have a nice and open all the way to the ground. That's when the injector actually is being commanded on fully, and that's how it happens. But yeah, now all the injectors are firing and run, and your computer is fully operational. This will come, like I always said, my repairs have a 1-year warranty, unlimited mileage, no liquid damage or burn components are covered. And the reason of that is, and it makes sense hopefully for everybody, well, if you this computer gets covered in diesel or in oil and gets inside, it will get damaged. And that was not my mistake. It's just you have a leak on the car. So I'm sorry, but that is no insurance. I'm not giving you an insurance for a computer. I'm giving you a warranty for my repairs, and that's it. The same thing goes for burn computers or components. If by any chance Ron doesn't replace injectors and connects his computer to there, and that injector is shorted, what would happen is, as soon as you turn the ignition on, and runs probably not in the first start, but it could happen, in the second one or third, it will take again the drivers inside the computer. And what is that because I did something wrong? No, it's because you're not replacing what it needs to be replaced in the vehicle. And same thing will happen if you buy a brand new one from the dealer. The dealer will cover defects on workmanship, but not burn components. So you bring a computer, yeah, looks, I have a bad computer. I know we tested those computers are tested, they're not good. What's the problem? Well, it's like, I think I have a bad injector. Yeah, well, yeah, we can sell you another computer. Same thing goes in here. My warranty covers my labor and the components that I install if they fail, not if they get burned. Okay, so just to address that, because sometimes people don't understand what the warranties are. This is a warranty, not an insurance. Okay. All right, guys, thank you so much for visiting the channel. If you're here, please don't forget to subscribe. Every time you subscribe, YouTube promotes more and more of my videos, and that's how you find me. Also, it's for free. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.